Hi, my name is Robert and I'm representing Twino. So, how did it all start? In 2015, we launched a platform for the investors to gain access to simple investments because we saw that the market currently is overcomplicated with all sort of investments, but not easy ones and passive ones. So what we have done since then, we have sort of changed the environment. We have let the financing to flow to the markets where the capital is not that well available to the customers. So we have helped to 1.2 million of people globally by providing them credit. To talk about the numbers, we have issued more than 750 million worth of loans in multiple markets. Roughly half of them have been funded in our investment platform by our investors. And currently we see that there are currently around 15,000 investors in our platform, and the number is growing on a monthly basis. Another thing that we are especially proud of is that we have opened such markets as Georgia, Poland, Kazakhstan to Europe's markets. So our investors come mainly from Europe while the capital is flowing to emerging markets. Talking about the growth, we are still growing on a yearly basis quite rapidly. At the same time, we have now 6 offices around multiple countries with more than 400 professionals, and we are in top 3 place in P2P platform competition in continental Europe. Talking about the buzz, we have received multiple awards, but here are a couple that we are especially proud of. So just recently we received Digital Top 50 Award in Germany, Berlin, where the jury came from Google, Rockets Internet, and also McKinsey's, while we also had a public vote. And there are a couple of other noteworthy mentions. One thing that we are doing that is quite different that we have seen in the markets, at least in Latvia, we are organizing FinTech Talks by Twino. So essentially it is an event where we gather people that are interested in fintechs or startups in general, and they come to this event and just discuss multiple topics. So we have had 5 events with more than 3,000 of guests, and we have had speakers from such global companies as Google, TransferWise, Economist, and also Monisa. Yeah, media buzz, we have been quoted in media such as Forbes, the Wall Street Journal, and also prominent press in Germany, so Frankfurter Allgemeine and then FAZ. And thank you, Valdis Dombrovskis, for mentioning this.
Yeah, thank you, Valdis Dombrovskis. Thank you, Robert Lasovskis. And I think it's a good time for some of the questions to Twino.
So does Twino just provide short-term consumer loans?
Most of the loans are short-term. We also provide installment loans, but we are currently in 5 markets, so Latvia, Poland, Russia, Kazakhstan, and Georgia. It diversifies sort of around the markets, but mostly it's short-term with term up to a couple of months, but we also have installment product with up to 5 years of loan term.
And consumer loans, so short-term?
Yeah, only consumer loans, yeah.
How are you innovating your product, your service offering?
Sure. Well, currently we sort of can split the business in 2 parts, so the loan issuing side and the platform business side. And what we are doing, we are constantly innovating on simplicity, I would say, because for loan origination, we are trying to make it super fast. So we are issuing the loans in minutes, not hours or days, how it might happen in a bank. While on the platform, we try to make the experience super easy. So you set up an auto-invest tool, and your money just flows automatically in multiple loans. So you don't have to really spend a lot of time by looking through all of the individual loans, but more on the whole experience.
From regional expansion point of view, what are your plans?
Sure. Currently, as I said, we are in 5 markets. We are also looking on different markets in Asia. That might be one of the goals that we see, because there's a lot of people there. A lot of people there underbanked that we have seen in the past, and in such markets as Kazakhstan and Georgia, and that's why we are looking at that side.
And Twino issues loans?
Yeah. So
how do you manage KYC?
Yeah, so well, we have originators in multiple countries, and they basically do the KYC on the borrower side, and
So the originators issue the loans.
yeah, but they're sort of a daughter companies of Twino Group, so they're inside of our group, but they issue them locally in those markets. For example,
How do they manage the KYC?
depending on the country. For example, in Latvia, you have to.
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. Yeah, well, it's an interesting market, and as far as I understand, the main problem there is with the credit bureaus, because they don't have official credit bureaus there as far as we have in Latvia. You can just make an API call to the market. Here in Kazakhstan, it's a bit different. So you sort of have all of the data available of the client. Also, what you can do, you can look through some Facebook data or social media data, but you just have to test the environment and test the clientele that you have there. And the regulation there is ongoing, so in a couple of those markets, they are not that well regulated.
Sorry, last question. Any plans on collaboration with Nordigen?
We'll see. We'll see. We have discussed with them, of course. We are communicating with them as well. We are also working with KKJAR from here, so I think the startup environment here is, well, everybody knows everybody, so we sort of talk.